Hey guys, what's going on? It's KMCGamer here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the Xbox One controller with some information that I've compiled from websites like IGN and Kotaku with their hands-on demonstrations of the Xbox One controller. So apparently, the Xbox One controller feels a lot like the Xbox 360 controller and definitely looks a lot like the Xbox 360 controller. There are 40 new enhancements and innovations in this controller, and how you get 40 innovations into a controller is beyond me. They've done something to the controller, like the size or the shape of it, so that it accepts a wider range of hand sizes, so people with smaller hands and bigger hands can still like the feel of the same controller. One of the biggest things that people like about the new controller is the dynamic impulse triggers, and leave it up to Microsoft to find really cool names for this shit. But basically, the dynamic impulse triggers are little rumble packs inside of the trigger, so that when you press down on the trigger, it will send some feedback to your finger. And that's really cool. It unlocks a number of possibilities to the point where if you're playing an FPS game and you shoot a gun, you will feel the trigger vibrate. As well as if you're playing a racing game and you start the engine, the triggers will start vibrating and it can send a sweeping motion through the controller. And some of the people that have used the controller already have said that they can feel the momentum in the controller with the vibrations that are sent through the triggers and the two normal ones in the pads of the controller. The start and back buttons are completely gone, and apparently to IGN they won't clarify, but Kotaku says that they are called view and menu buttons, and they are dependent on how the software developers use them. So, for instance, they gave the example for a first-person shooter, the view button will bring up a leaderboard. And if you're watching a movie, the menu button could bring up relevant information like settings and menus. So, loosely speaking, the view and menu buttons serve the same purpose as the start and back buttons. The A, B, X, and Y buttons are now called triple shot buttons. Apparently because they have 3 separate plastic injections to create the buttons. They are easier to press, and they are a little bit closer together. The thumbsticks are now textured, so you can easily get a grip on them, and they are easier to move. They've also increased the dead zone of the thumbsticks. The home button is now at the top of the controller, which, in my opinion, I feel like it shouldn't be there, because I feel like there is a lot of empty space in between the view and menu button. A lot of people are raving about the new D-pad, which now is completely redone, and now whenever you press the D-pad, it has a mechanical click to it. Kind of like a joystick at the arcade. If you go left, right, up, and down, it will click a button so that it registers your input accurately. The new D-pad is good for fighting games and manual inputs. The Xbox One controller battery pack is now flush on the back of the controller. Kotaku has confirmed that the Xbox One controller runs on AA batteries and the pack is removable. Why we are still running on AA batteries is a question that everybody should ask themselves now. The PS3 controller did it right the first time. Why can't Xbox do it now? There is now a data port on the bottom of the controller, which is for headsets and future accessories that require a higher data transfer rate. If my calculations are correct, Xbox is trying to recreate Seaman for the Dreamcast. There is an infrared LED on the front of the controller, which allows Kinect to automatically recognize you, making it easier to pick up and play. Fantastic. That's all the information that I have for the Xbox One controller. If you have anything more, put it in the comment section below, and give your opinion about the Xbox One controller. I will see you guys in another video. Peace out.